Hey y'all, it's Lacey, and today I'm doing a small book haul and maybe a little bit of a chat. So, I don't know, which one would you rather do first, the haul or the chat? I'm sure it's the haul because, I'm sure that's why you came here. So, two of these books I paid full price for. Um, I don't like to buy books at full price a lot, but these two I just splurged on a little bit. I mean, they weren't expensive, but I just had to have them. And then the rest of them came from Goodwill. So I'll start with the full price ones first. Um, these are, I don't know which one's first. They're part of a series, but it's Reckless and Chasing Tomorrow. And I mentioned in my March wrap up that I had read If Tomorrow Comes by Sidney Sheldon. It's a book that came out in the 80s. And it's one of my favorite books. I've reread it a couple of times. And when I was looking on Goodreads, I found out that there were sequels to them. Not written by Sidney Sheldon, but continuing the story of those characters. So it got me really excited because that's one book that I always wished had a sequel to it. So when I saw these, I was like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself and I'm going to get these books. So that's what I did. I don't know when I'm going to read them, and I don't know how good they're going to be since they're not written by Sidney Sheldon, but we'll see. All right, the rest of these books came from Goodwill. Probably $9 worth of books. There's a couple that aren't here because my husband bought those. So we went to the movies not too long ago, and there was a Goodwill like right next to the movie theater, and if there's a Goodwill, I'm gonna go in it. So I picked up a little stack of books. First one is Fanny Flagg, Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. Never read it, but I've seen the movie. I know that the book is a lot different than the movie, I think. At least that's what I've heard. So I figured maybe one day I'll get to that. Ray Bradbury, Fahrenheit 451. This is one that I've always looked at buying. I've looked at it at Barnes & Noble several times because I've wanted to read it, but I've just always put it back. So when I saw it at Goodwill, I was like, yes, 69 cents. And I think there's a movie on HBO or something. So I might watch that after whenever I read this. I don't know. But this is one I've always wanted to read too. Then I also picked up The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. This is on the Great American Read list, so I try and grab those whenever I see them because I'd like to read as many on that list as I can. Next is Diana Gabaldon, Outlander. I've read all the books in the series. I've got the first 4 on my Kindle, and I've got the second one in physical form, and maybe 2 of the 6th and the 7th book, or 6th and the 8th book in physical form, but I want to get all of them in physical books, so, I can pick them up whenever I want them. And then there's a 9th one that's yet to come out yet. So I've been trying to keep an eye out for these, and this is like the really early cover of this book, so I snatched that one up too. Next one is Dean Koontz, 77 Shadow Street. It's one I haven't read, but I'll try and pick up his when I see him too. This next one is Corrie ten Boom, The Hiding Place. I mentioned this in one of my tag videos as a book, an inspirational book, and it really is. It's about a woman who lived in Holland, I think, during World War II, or the beginnings of World War II, and her family helped to hide Jews. They built a hiding place in their house, and they helped hide people from the Nazis. Eventually they got caught and sent to concentration camps, and I think she was one of the only surviving members of her family. But what makes this inspirational is she was very religious, and her faith was very strong during the whole ordeal, and it never wavered. And you know, she went around the world speaking to people and, you know, talking about her experience. And I read this a couple years ago. I think my pastor had mentioned it, and it stuck with me. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I'm going to grab that because I think I might want to reread this. And I told my husband I thought he would like it too. The next book is Ken Follett, World Without End. I think this is in the series of Pillars of the Earth. I can't remember if it's the second or maybe third one. I don't know. I'm reading Pillars of the Earth right now. I haven't gotten very far in it, but so I wanted to have this for whenever I'm done with that book. And then the last one I don't know anything about. It's called Labyrinth by Kate Moss. I don't know. It just sounded interesting. It kind of has that adventure feel to it. There's mention of a labyrinth. My cat's over there making noise. A labyrinth, there's mention of a grail. So we'll see. It just kind of sounded interesting. And I usually don't grab books by people that I've never read before. I always tend to grab books that I'm already kind of familiar with. So this was just one of those take a chance books. So we'll see. And that's it for all that I've bought. I know in my last haul video I was like, I'm not buying any more books because I've got plenty. I swear, cat. But I can't help myself when I see a Goodwill. I mean, you know, there's always cheap books, so I gotta go take a look. So now on to the chat. Let's see. My April reading month is not starting out very well. I've already DNF'd an audiobook. I've already DNF'd a book. I meant to grab it. I'm not gonna go get it. I'm sorry, that cat is driving me crazy. It was Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill. I got like 100 pages into that book, and I'll talk more about it in my April wrap-up. But I mean, if I get 100 pages into a book and nothing's happening, I'm not gonna finish it. Like, I don't want to waste any time reading a book that I'm not enjoying. What's the point in that? So, I gave up on that book. I did just finish an audiobook of Murder on the Orient Express, which was good. I don't know that I liked listening to it because there's so many characters to keep up with. Narrated by Kenneth Branagh, which was really good. That part was excellent. He gave each character their own voice, and it was really good. But I just don't know if I really liked listening to that particular book on audio. And so right now I'm kind of reading Pillars of the Earth. I've got plenty to choose from, so I need to find something to read, or else I'm not going to have anything to talk about in my next video, or my wrap-up video. So we'll see. And I got mad because, so I finished Murder on the Orient Express, and I was all set to like come home, watch the movie, because I had seen it on HBO, and I was like, alright, I just finished this, I'm going to watch this movie. The movie's not on there anymore. Like, it was just on there, and now it's gone. And the only way you can watch it now is to, like, rent it online. So, I'm not going to watch that. So we ended up watching the Netflix movie The Dirt about Motley Crue. That was pretty entertaining. Definitely inappropriate for children, so, you know, don't watch it with any kids around. But it was entertaining. I think they played around with the timeline a little bit. So, you know, some of the events that happened didn't, you know, it was at different times in their careers. So, but it was good. I would recommend it if you don't have anything else to watch and you know of and maybe like Motley Crue. And then we watched Kevin Hart's Irresponsible special on Netflix. I didn't like that one as much. I didn't laugh as much as watching the other ones. I've seen all the other ones, and they were all really funny. But this one, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't laugh. I was really surprised. So, alright, so that's it for this video today. Just a quick little haul and a little bit of a chat. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Does anybody else come on here and then just like completely forget everything they wanted to say in a video?